Good morning and welcome to the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Bev Barnett. This is Greg Newland, and we are so excited to be sharing our songs of inspiration and joy with you this morning, both here in Citrus Heights at the Citrus Heights Community Center, and for all of you watching on Zoom. So thank you so much. It's a morning of joy. If at some point you'd like to learn more about us, you can do that at greg.com.
The sun comes shining down, put my feet back on the ground. When the days like going right, I think of every day and every night. When I think I just give up, and I know I've had enough, I just let that clock go round. Every day's back in town. When it's got me on the run, somehow I can't find the sun. I just shake off all those blues when I see that light gonna shine through. I can look up in the sky. I don't need a reason why. I can lose that old low down. Every day is back in town. Just takes a moment to turn the dark to light. This could be that moment, shining up there, shining bright every day. When those dark clouds follow me every day, and I think I just can't breathe every day. I remember some sweet song, that old sun moves those clouds along every day. I can see just what I've got every day, instead of crying what is not every day. I ain't got no need to frown, 'cause every day's back in town. It just takes a moment to turn dark to lights. This could be that moment, standing out of there, shining bright every day. When those dark clouds follow me every day, and I think I just can't breathe every day. I remember some sweet song, and that old sun moves those lights along every day. I can see just what I've got every day, instead of crying when it's not every day. I ain't got no need to cry, 'cause every day's back in town. Oh, oh, every day's back in town. Yeah, yeah, every day back in town. Every day, every day, every day, every day's back in town.
How do you like that live music?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Something happens. Something happens in this room with live bodies. I think it has something to do with energy or something. And we get to have our sisters and brothers on Zoom. It could be a perfect world. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Reverend Sharon Dunn. I am the senior minister here at the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living. And we have some things to tell you today about what's going on. One thing is, it's a new month, it's a new theme. That means it's a new book of the month. And I'm actually kind of having fun with this book. Happy for no reason. And I'm going to talk a little bit about some things from the book a little later on. So that's going to be pretty fun. We do put our book of the month on our website. So if you're ever wondering, and you don't want to go into YouTube and watch the whole service over again, you can go on our website and find our book of the month. Now, Ordinary Wonder, I put it there because it's our book for the whole year. So, and that's our theme for the whole year. It kind of matches our theme for the year. So we are recording this service, and that is for the sole purpose of growing us. Because now we know that we are using social media to connect with people that aren't even in our area, that are now feeling like a home away from home is our center. So some people will have their own center. Some people have a location where there's no center anywhere near them, and they can join us virtually in our virtual sanctuary. So we record for that reason. And, yesterday was Jaime's birthday. He's our web designer. So if he's watching this, let's all give him a happy birthday. It's okay to say that he turned 60. So it's a big birthday. So happy birthday, Jaime. And he does such a beautiful job with our website. You can go there for our classes, our workshops. We are having a workshop today. And we can also find out all kinds of things about what's going on, what we believe, who the bigger organization that we belong to is all about, and everything that you want to know is on our website. And you can also donate from our website, as well as request prayer. And the prayers that you request go to our prayer team, and we pray for a week. So please take advantage of that, because prayer is power. So I think that is it. So guess what? We have a wonderful practitioner of truth coming to us to do our invocation, which is our opening prayer. We call it affirmative prayer. And she is an amazing minister of truth. She's a new graduate from the Emerson Institute. So she is now Reverend Debbie Putnam. And again, I want to say I'm staying after service because she's doing a workshop on vision, on making a vision board. So I brought a bunch of magazines and glue and scissors and everything else. I hope you stay. You don't need anything. We have it all. Make sure you come and play with us, because play is our theme for the month. Sharon Dunn.
Can everybody hear me? Yep. Perfect. Drop into that space that is always here and always everywhere. There is one infinite power, one infinite good, one infinite peace, and one infinite playfulness that plays in us, as us, through us, that plays in us today as this amazing service. As we come together with love and community and understanding and shared wisdom to expand who and what we really are, our knowledge of it, our awareness of it. As we open our hearts and minds to the amazing word that Reverend Sharon delivers today, as she is inspired, guided, and led by Spirit. The wonderful music of Greg and Bev, and all those who contribute to this service and this center in so many ways. Blessings on all, and so it is. And now for our readings. God sings all the songs, dances all the dances, paints all the pictures, creates all art, writes every book, plays every game. Ernest Holmes. Joy is the infallible sign of the presence of God. Play is a sacred act. When we are playing, the essence of all creation flows freely through us. We are expressing our true nature and connecting with the very core of our existence. Nothing is more spiritual than that. And now for Greg and Bev with their wonderful live music.
When you do what you love, when you trust what you know, you'll grab the brass ring when you finally let go. When you know what you love and you trust what you do, you'll set your sights high. It's all waiting for you. Get out of your head, open your mind, you'll know what you need. Leave behind, there's no better time. You're on the right track. Take a deep breath. There's no turning back. 'Cause when you do what you love and you trust what you know, you'll grab the brass ring and you'll finally let go. When you know what you love and you trust what you do, you set your sights high, it's all waiting for you. The power is yours. Once you decide, you gotta hold tight, 'cause you're in for a ride. Say it out loud, yeah, give it a name. Ask for a spark, and you're in for a flame. When you do what you love, trust what you know, you'll grab the brass ring and you'll finally let it go. When you know what you love and you trust what you do, you'll set your sights high, it's all waiting for you. When you do what you love and you trust what you know, you'll grab the brass ring and you'll finally let it go. Know what you love and you trust what you do, you set your sights high, it's all waiting for you. When you do what you love and you trust what you know, when you do what you love and you trust what you know, when you do what you love and you trust what you know, you'll grab the brass ring when you finally let go.
Wow, good morning. It is so amazing to see faces. I know I say this, but, and I'm fully dressed. I've got shoes on. I don't have my yoga pants on. This is pretty fun. So good morning. I'm excited about our topic for today, which is the sound of God is your belly laugh. The sound of God is your belly laugh. And that came to me this morning, this topic. So the first slide is a little outdated, as you know, spirit is more spontaneous. I think what I'm going to start doing though each week is just remove the topic slide altogether and just say to be announced. Because it inspired me and the notes inspire me, and then I get to have fun. I get to play with spirit. So March is a new month. We're using the theme play. Remember that our global theme for the year is living everyday wonder, and that every month we're going to use a different aspect of life to explore living in wonder. So last month we had the inner life, and this month we have play. And Deepak Chopra says, be happy for no reason, like a child. If you are happy for a reason, you're in trouble, because that reason can be taken from you. You know, I had this conversation this morning with my beloved Larry, and he was talking about how he's excited for the future because we're going to do this, and I'm happy because this is going to happen and that's going to happen, or I'm happy because we did this and we did that. And I thought, well, what about now? What about that eternal now? I'm happy just because, and not because of anything else. Because what the plan is for the future might be changed. And we can always be happy about something that's already happened. But if we're happy about something that's already happened, aren't we a little busy? Are we able to notice what's happening right now? Isn't this curious? Curiouser and curiouser. So do you believe that God is your divine partner or your dominating parent? These are ideas I wake up with in the morning. How intimate is your God? How intimate? Intimacy is something that we can have with spirit. And you know what? Sometimes I forget God altogether. I can have great joy and be in complete awe and forget what that is, or whose that is, or what causes that. Sometimes, have you ever been in awe where you can hardly breathe and you don't have words for it? We were in Tamales Bay recently, crabbing, and I remember sitting in our boat, and it was so beautiful. And I had no words for it, and I never once thought of God. But there was the principle of God right there, the principle of beauty all around me, and I didn't have a name for it. This came to me this morning. I thought, wow, this reminds me of Tamales Bay. You know, we're hanging out in our boat and we're crabbing. I think you all know this. And I thought, well, what is that over there? That looks like a boat turned over. It was a whale. Oh. And then there was one-eyed Jack. We were like cruising around in our boat, fishing and crabbing, and there was a seal right there hoping that we'd throw a little bait at him. One eye, he had one eye. And stayed with us and played with us. Could I ever once think, well, I think I'm getting a little visit from spirit? I didn't. And now that I think of it, I'm really excited about the idea of paying a little more attention to my relationship with the beloved. So today, we're going to talk about whose laugh comes from your belly. Have you ever had that belly laugh? It's just ridiculous. Like you're just laughing so hard. That, and it is absolutely an expression of, that's the sound of God. I never thought of it that way. So I'm going to talk about three things. Who's laughing now? Are you laughing at or with yourself? And what are you laughing at? And I'm going to use our declaration of principles as I do every week. And today's declaration, and these were written by Ernest Holmes, the teacher, founder of our teaching, the author of the Science of Mind the author of the Science of Mind textbook. I love the Science of Mind magazine. And today we're going to use, we believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. Is that not the most perfect one for today? Because I have heaven all around me and I'm not conscious of it. Raise your hand if you've ever just walked around going, oh my God, this is amazing, but never thought of the amazing. Thank you. I feel supported. So who's laughing now? Connecting deeply with the divine can sometimes feel like very serious work. We're meditating, we're praying, we're journaling, we're contemplating, we're reflecting. How fun is that? But there's also a spiritual practice of play. And we've talked about play before, haven't we? But have you seen it this way? I haven't seen it this way. We can forget that joy and freedom are divine qualities too. We can forget that. Well, let's just say I can forget that. Spirit has created each one of us with an overwhelming capacity for joy, balance, and freedom. And work with me here. Is this a time to be talking about this? Let me connect the dots. Work with me there. I'm going to get to that. How dare us talk about joy, freedom, and silliness right now. And yet we have every human tendency to get caught up in the busyness of the world and forget to engage in the aspects of our divine self. Don't forget God. Call it what you want. If that word is not comfortable, name it. Bubba, Alfred, Sasha, whatever. But call it, know it, play with it, love it, partner with it. Play is a sacred activity, absolutely necessary for our complete expression of life. And we need to be open to the idea that spirit is more than just a proper, serious, grown-up thing. Rather, spirit is all that is, including expressing us all. The sound of God is your belly. That helps me a lot. Because I have a new love in my life, and we do a lot of laughing. I mean, we do so much laughing. I probably should want you really want me to say that. No, this is not right. But sometimes I have to be careful to empty my bladder before I hang out with this guy, because he makes me laugh so much. Have you ever been in that situation? Not that situation. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I have such a beautiful relationship with spirit, and my God is a body snatcher and comes out of my mouth with things that I probably wouldn't say otherwise. Play is also healing to the body, as we know, and the heart, and connects us with others and inspires our greatest yet to be. And also, listen to this, the lack of discord or a release of the need to struggle emerges in our life as we live from this perspective. Who would like to be relieved of struggle and discord? I'm thinking that joy and discord can't occupy the same space. I think this is a really neat thing. Ernest Holmes says, as Reverend Debbie read, God sings all the songs, dances all the dances, paints all the pictures, creates all art, writes every book, plays every game. Do you realize all those fun things and wonderful things we do in partnership? I didn't think of that. There is no silliness you can find that's outside of God. You ever hear that saying, there's no place where God is not? Well, that includes silliness. So are you laughing at or with yourself? I am trying to convey the idea that we're not laughing with spirit, which kind of sounds a little separate, doesn't it? Like God is over here and I'm over here and we're laughing with. And I'm also trying to convey the idea that I'm not laughing at something that doesn't include spirit. Does this make sense? That really what's happening is I am laughing as spirit. And sometimes when I'm teaching the science, the treatment, the spiritual mind treatment, which is our 5-step prayer. I know it sounds complicated, 5 steps, I'll never get that. And I'm gonna stop praying because I don't know how to do that. Don't do any of that. The steps are just a brilliant idea by our teacher who shows a sequential evolution of diving deep into prayer. You know, do this first, and that, oh my goodness, when you do that, and you get to the second step and you do that, and it's just this wonderful, thank you. I can do that, and it really helped to do follow those steps. But I always pray. And as our prayer team knows, I don't often follow the steps. Sometimes I love the first step, which is recognition. Recognize the one, because usually when you do that, the prayer is done. When we recognize the one, discord is gone. So cultivating the life of joy involves making space for play. So I want to ask you, what do you like to play? What do you like to play? Anybody?
Ping pong.
Ping pong. Have you ever played ping pong with God in mind?
No.
Right? But if you're laughing and you're, listen to that laugh. It is God given. Anybody?
Oh, and I pray all the time.
Oh my God. Golf is a play of Zen. When you are relaxed and trusting and letting God be God, that ball goes forever. And when you're trying to kill it and control it, you duff it. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
So that is a very, very fun game to play with spirit.
Yeah, it's a good way to work out with whatever.
It is. And it's a great way to throw your back out if you are absolutely out of control.
Or out of shape.
Anybody else play? What do you want to play?
I love to play with art.
Oh, yes. Yes, I know a couple of people here who like to play with art. Have you ever thought that while you're doing your art and you're creating, that you are creating as the creator itself? That's beautiful. It's wonderful.
Not
Anyone?
often enough.
Right? I mean, I say, don't forget God. Don't forget God. And I think that is, and there's a reason, right? We have quantum mechanics, the science of mind. Why am I saying don't forget God? Who cares? Because what we give attention to expands. What we give attention to expands. You want joy? How about more joy? How about I'll have seconds on joy? I'll have a little more. I don't have what they're having. Little Harry Met Sally. Ooh, what do you like to play? Anybody?
Cooking.
Cooking. Have you gourmets for God? Have you ever thought while you're making some amazing meal that idea might have come from the one? Absolutely. Isn't that amazing? Wow, that's wonderful.
And then there's
Anybody?
more expanded joy when it's on your tongue.
The taste of God.
Yeah.
Wow, what does God taste like?
Veal.
Anybody else?
We take little road trips to find some place for lunch. And just the act of driving there and enjoying the day and the scenery and the freedom to do that,
Isn't that amazing?
I'm so grateful.
And have you ever thought that you're sitting shotgun the spirit?
It's part of my gratitude.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
that
wonderful.
I'm able to do that.
That's wonderful. I'm Carol.
Guitar.
Oh,
Play the guitar.
yes. That is wonderful. And have you ever thought while you're playing guitar that you are playing in harmony with the one?
Do quite a bit.
That's wonderful. So are you all ready to play this week?
Oh,
And are you all ready to think about playing with the one? Playing as the one? So the topic today was something about Twister, playing Twister with God. And I kind of like the idea of Twister, so I thought I would include it somewhere in my notes. And so I put it in the illustration because the author of the notes really was clever. And I thought, listen to this. In playing Twister, it's important to get your foundation right. And I'm thinking, well, in playing with spirit, it's a good thing that we have the Science of Mind Foundation class. That we can start kind of getting our foundation, our teaching, our disciplines, kind of getting in gear with having more spirit experience in our life, right? So you need the correct mat with Twister placed on a solid, even floor with bare feet. Slippery socks are not your friend in this game. And the same is true for building a deeper relationship with God, getting your spiritual foundation right. And when we play Twister, we intertwine and find ourselves up close and personal in all kinds of unexpected ways. Are you getting the metaphor here? So I really liked it. Who hasn't dissolved into giggles when they found their face in someone's armpit while reaching for right foot on green? Imagine, anyone know how to play Twister? Okay, good. So if you imagine you're playing Twister with God, that's why I really kind of like the topic, because it's kind of silly, but silly things help me remember things. At least that's me. And so the intuition part of Twister is that you're thinking of the next step. What next step am I going to take in this game? Do you get the intuition part of this, where that comes from? And the entire universe is swirling around us in a complementary dance, shifting us in a million tiny ways and holding us up at the same time. Isn't this wonderful? It's a sweet little way to look at this game. And the fun of Twister is going to happen in direct proportion to your willingness to embrace the play of it. So I think we can use that. Twister is ridiculous, but no more so than the joyful unfoldment of the absolutely incalculable ways in which playing Twister with God delights and surprises us. So last point is, what are you laughing at? And Ernest Holmes says, if we are to know a God of joy, and this is definitely the science of mind, we are to be joyful. Right? I mean, literally, I can walk around and wonderful things are happening to me all the time and I forget God. It's like, and it's just wonderful. They're wonderful things. But I forget the idea of the fact that we have an infinite God. I was just answering a Facebook post from Reverend Dr. Dave Bruner, and I was thinking that when I think of gratitude, I think of something wonderful that's happening, and I immediately go to gratitude. I do. I say my prayers. I say grace. I always think when good things happen, I always get into gratitude. But sometimes I park there. And I forget that I've made from God. I forget that there's more. And I get in that, well, don't be always wanting more. What is that? Boastful. What is that? Ungrateful. What is that thing? No. We have an infinite God. So I'm really happy that I'm here. Oh my gosh, it's a wonderful thing. Oh my heavens. Do I dare? Do I dare want more? Do I dare expect? Do I dare live in the expectancy? Because right now I'm in that, really in that. So much good is happening to me. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. You ever do that? I'm good. Yeah, nothing's blowing up. Nobody's, I'm good. Don't park in gratitude. Acknowledge. Because what is gratitude but the root of abundance? But don't stay in the root. Let it grow. Let it take, let it be this beautiful experience of the infinite one. Why? Because if you do that, you're contributing to the world. This is a thing that I don't think we've learned as humanity. I don't think we've learned it. So when I say, what are we laughing at? So let go of the confusion that tells us spirituality is serious and play, laughter, and joy are frivolous and unimportant. Sharon says, joy is the most infallible sign of the presence of God. I mean, this is important stuff. Do you think this is as important as I thought it was? Okay, good. When we make the space outside ourselves to really laugh, to live in the expression of joy, we are being our most God self. When we really listen to our belly laugh, we will hear the sound of God. So in summary, this week with Wonder of Joy, play, explore the ways in which you let the God of joy into your life. Seek ways to play, to giggle, to guffaw. Anybody guffaw? No, I haven't really guffawed lately. But I'm willing. Celebrate the unimaginable beauty of a life spent playing with God. And again, play is a spiritual act, a spiritual practice. Love is your job description, right? Love is the object. You know, when you're doing a resume and it says objective is the first thing, right? Everybody know what that is? Well, what is your objective in your resume? Love, that's why we're here. Don't ever think it's not a time to be joyful. And how dare we enjoy life when there's a war going on? Dare we? Know this, and this came to me this morning, as did most of this. If the tears of God fall when we do, then joy is the antidote of war. Joy is the antidote of war. So go out and play and contribute to the peace in the world. Let us pray. There is one, and we're going to call it joy right here and right now. We're going to call it joy right here and right now, because in this very room, something wonderful is happening, and we call it joy and love and spirit and harmony, peace, creativity. It brings us together, it connects us. It's the only reason we're sitting in these seats. It's the only reason we're joining us in this virtual sanctuary. We belong to spirit, and we come here to feel the belonging. That one that creates everything out of itself created me, all of us, out of itself. So I am joy. My name is joy. My heart is full of joy. My body feels so good because of joy. and I spread joy. I spread joy because I focus on joy. I commit and agree and declare and claim to be a vessel, an instrument of God's joy. I'm not saying that there are things going on that break my heart. I'm not saying that at times I feel despair because I'm not sure I know what to do as one person in the world where my brothers and sisters are falling down in the Ukraine. But I notice that there is so much happening in our world today that is so connected by the internet and by the technology that comes from the infinite mind that teaches us how to be with this situation. That there's another way to look at it, that we can actually contribute to peace. We can actually help. We have the power of the mind. We have the power of the heart of God beating in our chest. We have the intelligence of the one in the nucleus of every cell in our body, and we ignite it by intention. Period. And how simple is that? So I'm gonna go out and play. I'm gonna laugh and listen to the sound of God as my belly laugh. And in that, I contribute to world peace. I stand for love. I stand for joy. I stand for peace. And this prayer answers all. And so I release my word into the law, trusting that I just take my hands off it and let God do God's work. I don't have to know how. I just know that it's so. And together we say,
So it is.
Amen. And now we have
Got everything, so much more than all I need. Everywhere I look, I see a million little seeds of hope and peace and blessing that will bloom again in spring. Thank you for the air. Thankful for the lessons that have shaped who I've become. And welcome all the twists and turns that have not yet begun. With gratitude and blessing, let our voices ring. Thank you for the everything. You might pray to Jesus, but to the Hindu gods, there's a great big congregation that I look like now. Abraham and Buddha will remind us what to bring. Thank you for everything. Need a little grateful, need a little more. Somebody to remind us just what we're living for. Take a moment to be faithful. Take a moment just to sing. Thank you for the air. Take a moment to be faithful. Take a moment to sing. for the everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the everything.
That's what I was trying to say. Take a moment to be faithful. They said it in one sentence.
Sorry. So it is now our offering time. In so many ways, these teachings and this center supports us in every domain of our life. And so now we're giving you the opportunity to give back. So there's different ways that you can do it. You can go on our website at saccsl.org and use PayPal or Square, or you can mail a personal check that is on our address on the screen. And thank you, YouTube audience, for your donations. All of your donations are so greatly and heartfelt appreciated. There's also a link on YouTube. So please, as we stay muted, let's say our abundance affirmation. Abiding by the law of circulation and in heartfelt gratitude, I affirm that I live in a creative and abundant universe that continuously flows in, through, and out as me, expressing as the ever-expanding infinite good. And so it is.
Did you notice that? The creative and abundant infinite universe? That whole creative thing, that's what we were just hearing about. So we have a few creative announcements. A reminder that we are meeting in person on the first and fifth Sundays, right here at the Citrus Heights Community Center. This is the first Sunday, and when there's a fifth Sunday, we'll meet then too. It's fabulous, and of course, we're still on Zoom on those Sundays. This person I'm having trouble recognizing. Yeah, she's leading a vision board workshop. We are going to play. It officially starts at 12:30, but so you have a little time to get lunch or eat something, but you're also welcome to just hang out, munch on whatever, start whenever. We're gonna set up right after service. And yes, so this has to do with how fellowship works when we are meeting in person. And I've experienced this myself, and our Zoom people will experience this. So we unfortunately end up kind of having to have two fellowships. The people who are on Zoom, please stay, enjoy each other, participate, find out how each other's lives are, share whatever it is you want to share. And the people who are in person will also be having fellowship here in person. We know that you're in our hearts, you who are on Zoom, and that we're in your hearts, and this is just how it works right now. There is a power for good in the universe, and you can use it. Who wants to know how to use that more and explore the roots of how that comes together? There is an Exploring Roots class that is starting Tuesday, March 29th. It will be 10 weeks with Reverend Sharon Dunn. Class is an amazing way to empower and up-level your life. Every time I take a class, and I still do, my life changes. I change. It's transformative. And now I turn it over to Linda for our last two announcements.
Thank you. So we do have our community outreach meeting. And so if you've ever wondered exactly what it is that we do, please come to our meetings. They are the second Sunday of every month. They are on Zoom currently, and I'm hoping that soon we can do them in person. But, come find out. Hang out with us. We have a great time, and we would appreciate all the assistance, and so would our communities. Our next one is actually next Sunday, March 13th. So we're having My Beloved's Celebration of Life, March 19th at the center, at the community center. It's going to be at 10 a.m. and donations can be made to two different programs, whichever calls you, to the Patrick Connolly Audio Visual Memorial Fund, that is on saccsl.org, and the Delta Veterans Group. That is the stand down group that Patrick was so enthused about. And if you can make those donations in his memory, that would be greatly appreciated. So please, you can either join us in person or on Zoom, March 19th at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Am I on? I'm on. I'm just taking a moment in my heart because I and all of us love Patrick and of course Linda so much. To my understanding, if you plan to come in person, you should RSVP. There was an RSVP link sent out on email. So please RSVP so that we have the space, the accommodations, we have things set up the way they need to be set up. Thank you so much. Our gift for you this week, as we have every week, is this affirmation. Wait for it. Say it with me. I am having fun with the divine. Heck yeah. It bounced around here. I'm having fun. Now I'm going to benediction. And so in this knowing of the most incredible fun, of the joy and the gift of living, the gift of being, knowing that each and every one of us has been fed in exactly those ways that we are embracing and ready to be fed. We go into our world, whether it's the vision board workshop or whether it's going to a musical or whether it's doing something else this afternoon, with joy and abundance. And we bring joy into the world, into our own lives, and into our knowing for Ukraine. And all is well. I give thanks for answered prayer and release this word into the all-powerful divine that says yes and makes it so, and so it is. Please join us for fellowship. Remember, fellowship is, oh, sorry, we're gonna have a song in a second. After the song, join us for fellowship. That's correct.
We're gonna anchor this with y'all can sing it with us, that Do What You Love chorus, and feel free to, you can get up and move if you want, you can sing along if you want, you can stay seated if you want. Do what you love. When you do what you love, when you trust what you know, you grab the brass ring when you finally let go. When you know what you love, and you trust what you do, you'll set your sights high, it's all waiting for you. When you do what you love, and you trust what you know, when you do what you love, and you trust what you know, when you do what you love, and you trust what you know, you grab the